Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we're going to be talking about some Mandalorian Season 2 news. If you guys want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. First off, I want to say I apologize for not getting a video out the past 2 days. I just got really busy. I just needed to take a quick break, get that stuff done, and get back on the grind here. So, sorry about that. We're getting back to daily videos. Don't even worry about it. So, we just got the news a few days ago that there's going to be an epic lightsaber duel in The Mandalorian Season 2 with Moff Gideon, the darksaber, and somebody else. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to break down what I think about that and who's most likely going to fight him, all that good stuff. So in the interview, he actually said that he broke 3 prop lightsabers or darksabers during the fight scene. And that's interesting. So there's some epicness going on here. Like he said, there's going to be some, I imagine it's going to be a longer fight, and there's going to be a lot of intricate details with it. So it seems like it's going to be good. Hopefully we're going to get a better choreography than we got from the sequels. Pretty sure we can all, come to an agreement here that the choreography from the sequels wasn't that good. It felt a little stale to me, a little dry. I feel like there wasn't a lot of different, spontaneous movements, some abstract stuff. I just don't feel like it was there. We know there were some problems during it, but that's okay. We enjoyed it when it was, happening during the movie. So I'm hoping for a more intricate, detailed fight during The Mandalorian, and I hope we'll get that. We most likely will. And he also went on to say he won't be fighting Din Djarin. He's not fighting the Mandalorian during this. It's going to be someone else with a lightsaber, so most likely a Jedi, or it could be, some random person. I'm going to get into that here in a second. And he also said that we're going to figure out how Moff Gideon obtained the lightsaber or the darksaber and kind of his backstory. So we'll get more details on that, which is exactly what I want to see. I want to know how he got it. Is he a Mandalorian? Is he tied to them somehow? Or was he just able to obtain it through, being with the Empire after, or after its collapse, but during its reign? So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. And apparently there is a scene with Baby Yoda and Moff Gideon. He kind of alluded to it. He didn't say it, but he said that Baby Yoda is intrigued by the darksaber. So either he obtains it or he sees it, at some point throughout the show. So let's go ahead and dive into who I think could fight Moff Gideon. We're going to start off with Luke Skywalker. Now, this is probably not going to happen. I don't think they're going to recast someone, a younger Luke, to come back for just like maybe 1 episode or 2 episodes and basically take this iconic character that we love from Star Wars and kind of just put him in for a little bit and then take him out. If they use Mark Hamill, I think it's totally fine. Okay, if Mark Hamill comes back, they use some de-aging stuff, that's totally okay. I don't have any problem with that. But if they recast Luke Skywalker just for an episode and then he goes away and, kind of comes back like throughout, I don't think it's really worth it. I feel like a lot of people will be pretty pissed off if that happens. I would like to see Luke come back at the end and kind of train Baby Yoda if they don't go with Yaddle's route. So, I don't know. I just don't think that we're going to see him come back and fight Moff Gideon. Next up, we have Leia. Again, I don't think they're going to recast her just for a cameo. And around this time period, Ben Solo was a young guy. He was, I think, like 10 years old. So she most likely won't be going off in the galaxy to fight Moff Gideon. If someone was going to do that, it would be Luke. Like, she's not just going to go off by herself and fight him, unless she comes across or he comes across her, when she's alone or something like that. But again, I just don't see them recasting her. They're most likely not going to do that with Leia. And she chose to take a different path. She's not going to be a Jedi. She's a politician. She led the Resistance Army, and there's just no reason for her to really go out of her way to fight Moff Gideon unless she absolutely has to. So getting Luke and Leia out of the way, I don't think that's going to happen. Next up is Yaddle. So you guys know, if you watch the channel, I love making Yaddle theory videos about her coming back in The Mandalorian. It just seems like it's going to fit. I feel like she's a really good fit to come back and train Baby Yoda at the end of Season 2 and going into Season 3. So to see her come back and maybe fight Moff Gideon when the Mandalorian, or when Mando and Baby Yoda are like trapped and they have nothing to do, Moff Gideon's standing over them with the darksaber or something, and then Yaddle comes out of nowhere, ignites her green lightsaber and saves them, and kills Moff Gideon, and then Baby Yoda gets the darksaber, and then the story goes on from there. That's what I would like to see. I think that'd be the coolest scenario here, is to see Yaddle come out of nowhere. And, Baby Yoda may be like, oh my god, like, it's you, I haven't seen you in forever, type of thing, like she raised him. I think seeing her come back is still a little far-fetched. I know a lot of you keep telling me, dude, she's dead. Like, it's not confirmed in canon that she's dead. She is dead in Legends. So, a lot of people keep telling me she's dead, she's not coming back, like, get over it. No. Until they tell me specifically that she is not, that she is dead, I'm going to keep my hopes alive. I think Yaddle would be a great fit to put into the Mandalorian and have that connection with Baby Yoda. So seeing Yaddle fight Moff Gideon, Yaddle would overpower him. You know, she was one of the most powerful Jedi at the time of the Phantom Menace. She could use the power Marikro, where it could just stop your bodily functions. Like, she could just slow down your heart rate and eventually kill you. Like, she's very, very powerful. She's one of the elder Jedi of the temple. So we don't know what happened to her. We don't know what happened to her after the Phantom Menace. She stepped down from the council, and after that, it's pretty much blank slate. So we could pretty much do anything with Yaddle's character here, and I would love to see that. Next up, we're going to talk about Ezra. So the next two characters are going to be characters that we will most likely see come back, and that's the first one being Ezra. After Rebels ended, we were left with the great mystery of what happened to him, and we will most likely see him come back at some point in the future with the sequel that they're making for Rebels. So we'll get a little bit more about what happened during that time period, but he could possibly make his live action debut in The Mandalorian. At this point, he would be a full-blown Jedi and would be considered a Jedi Knight if they still had titles. And depending on how well Moff Gideon has been trained with a lightsaber, it could make for an interesting duel. Like, we don't know what has happened to Ezra at this time. We don't know if he's continued his training, continued to learn more about the Force, or if he's kind of the same. He's just been going around the galaxy on his travels, but he hasn't really been training. So Moff Gideon might be able to take him down, or might be able to, at least put up with the fight and, have a stalemate, something like that. Of course, the Force will most likely prevail in the end, and Ezra would be victorious, but if Moff Gideon is a Mandalorian, he would know how to combat the Force and use it against Ezra and be able to work around that. So Moff Gideon most likely has some sort of training to deal with Jedi, or at least some sort of dueling training. He has a darksaber, he knows how to use it. So yeah, we know that the Rebels sequel is in the works, so most likely they could tie that in to The Mandalorian by adding Ezra. So it'd be a little bit of a tease, something to look forward to, because we don't really know anything about the Rebels sequel as of right now. So it could be something like a little added flavor, like, oh hey, yeah, here's Ezra, yeah, he's gonna come back in the Rebels sequel. Stay tuned for that. So that could be definitely a possibility. And the last person I want to focus on here is Ahsoka Tano. I know we all want to see more of Ahsoka, and a live-action adaptation might be a little weird at first, but I'm sure we would all enjoy it. I would love to see Ahsoka come back. She's one of the most beloved characters in all of Star Wars, and bringing her onto The Mandalorian alongside Baby Yoda would boost ratings even higher than they already are. I mean, I don't understand if you haven't seen The Mandalorian and you love, Ahsoka, Star Wars, Clone Wars. It's kind of weird if you haven't seen it, but I think, it would just boost ratings even more. Now, I could see her showing up for an episode or two and fighting Moff Gideon, maybe helping Baby Yoda out just a little bit, maybe giving the Mando, maybe getting Din Djarin some tips, something like that, and just going about her business, going back to what she was doing before she found them. And I could see her showing up in an episode of 2 of the Kenobi series and Cassian Andor show, and she could just make appearances as well. She's really one of those characters that could jump around, because we don't really know what she's doing at this time period. We know Kenobi, we know Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, right? He's not going to leave Tatooine for pretty much anything. He wants to protect Luke, right? So the odds of him leaving and being in another show are very slim. But Ahsoka's a character that, like I said, everybody loves and would love to see her in multiple different shows. We want to know more about her story. We loved Rebels, we loved Clone Wars. We're going to get the sequel. Great way to tie her in. You could put her in any other show as well. Now, if she fought Moff Gideon would have to be an excellent duelist to even come close to competing with Ahsoka. But it's always an interesting fight when a Force user fights a non-Force user. Now, obviously, the Force user has an advantage, and the non-Force user must fight and find a way to overcome the power of the Force. So it'll be interesting to see. Moff Gideon's a smart man, so I would love to see his approach to the fight. And the odds would certainly be against him, but it would be a welcoming challenge to see. It'd be a different type of battle. Someone who's not really, remember pre-Vizsla, going back with pre-Vizsla and Maul. Obviously Maul's going to demolish him, but it was cool to see how he would get around that, and he did put up a fight. So that's something I would like to see. Maybe Moff Gideon fighting Ahsoka or Ezra. Definitely would be able to tie in to the sequel for Rebels, so that would probably be the best thing there. Again, I'm still hoping Yaddle's coming back, but I don't know, a little far-fetched at this point. I would love to see Luke and Leia maybe at the end, but I just don't think they want to incorporate their characters back into Star Wars. Probably won't recast them, but who knows, we might see it in the end. I'm still hoping we get to see Ben Solo at some point. I don't think he would fight Ben Solo at all. That doesn't really make any sense, so that's why I didn't put him in this video. But obviously we could see some random person, you know, maybe fight him with a lightsaber. There's plenty of lightsabers to go around. You know, you could find one on the black market. I mean, you might even be able to create your own if you have the knowledge of how to do that. But, you know, it could just be a random person, and we could see someone pick up a lightsaber and just go out Moff Gideon. We don't know, or it could just be a randomly new character that we've never seen before. I am hyped for Mandalorian Season 2. I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Out of these 4 characters or 5 characters, who would you like to see fight Moff Gideon? And if you have someone else that you would like to see, definitely let me know as well, guys. Thank you for everything. Tomorrow I have some news about the website, so stay tuned for that. It will be up tomorrow, and I'll make a whole video on that, explaining it and going over and all that good stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, I'd really appreciate it. And of course, if you want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you for everything. We're just having an amazing subscriber boom here, and I just want to say thank you for everything, guys. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.